Welcome creators. Today we are going to be assembling a PROCOLORED F8 DTF printer. This is on the beginner's end, so if you're a beginner, make sure you subscribe because we're going to have a lot more tutorials about this specific printer in the future. The first step is assembly. When your printer comes in, it's not going to have anything attached to it. So it's just going to take us maybe 15 minutes here. And I like to start in the front. This little piece is going to catch your film once it's printed. And that slidey portion there, well, that's a lifesaver. It's a blade, so you don't have to worry about any sharp edges or anything laying around. All of the hardware is included. This particular item has 4 screws. You just need to bring a Phillips head screwdriver. I recommend moving your printer to the edge, that way you can easily see underneath what you're doing. And this is super easy to actually assemble. There's 2 little pieces here that clip right into the printer. And once they're inserted, you want to push down slightly and you'll feel it snap into place. I know you're thinking, well, heck, why do I need the screws? It seems like it's pretty sturdy. Just add the screws for, good measure. That is the only piece we will need to assemble in the front, so we need to move to the back of the printer now, and you will see these 2 arms. Each one takes 2 screws. It is very important that the smooth side is facing outside and the wheelie side is facing inside. This is actually going to hold the rod that in turn holds your transfer film and feeds everything down through the printer. One more step in the assembly process, and that is adding our DTF film to this roll. As you can see, this is going to lay inside of those arms and spin effortlessly as the printer pulls down your film. Those 2 black pieces insert into the end of your film roll, securing it in place. One thing to know is you want to make sure that your film is as perfectly centered as possible on that rod. If not, it is going to pull left, right, and ruin your prints. The easiest way I found to do this step is by inserting the rod and then inserting the end cap. From there, I make sure everything is snug inside of that cardboard container. Once it is snug, I will loosen both screws on those little black pieces. That allows you to move the entire piece free range. Once you see that it is pretty close to perfectly centered, you will then tighten both screws, making sure everything is secured, and then we will just insert it into those arms on the back of our printer. As a friendly reminder, please do not make this mistake. When you insert your transfer film, the glossy side should always be down and the matte side should be up. The matte side is what is going to hold your DTF ink, not the glossy side. That glossy side is what you will press in your heat press. You will not be able to feed this film all the way through the printer until the device is on. However, I just fed enough out so it was ready. From here, you want to grab your power cord, and you will see that it comes with 2 power cords. One will go to the oven, one to the printer. You will simply plug and play, and as you can see on the top, that red button is the on switch. Next, you will see that there is a USB cord with a little funky square at the end. That funky square will be plugged into the back of your printer. And the other side we will talk about later in the software segment of this video. The external assembly is now complete and we will be working on the internal. Please do not turn on your machine until the ink tanks are full. As you can see, this is what it will look like at the end, but I am going to walk you through the entire process. Your DTF printer should come with 5 different inks: white, blue, pink, black, and yellow. They will also come with their individual funnels and syringes. Please do not mix them up, especially in the white. If I can give you any recommendation, do not overflow these. I did that. It was a huge oops. I will say pour these slow because it's hard to tell how full that they are, but it actually doesn't take an entire bottle for these 4 colors. However, the white, it will take almost the entire bottle. Now we need to prep the printer to get the ink from the tanks into these cartridges so it's ready to print. It's really simple. You'll take your syringe, pop out each cartridge, insert your syringe, and take out all of the air until you get a little bit of ink inside of the syringe. You want to do that for each individual cartridge, but please make sure you do not mix up the colors because we do not want to mix any of these colors. It can make a huge headache for printing down the road. In the bottom hand corner of this screen, you will see an additional hose going into a random tub. That is actually your waste ink tank, and there is going to be a little bit of waste ink every single print. You want to make sure to fully pull ink out through that hose so everything is working properly. Once this is filled, you can just flush it or dump it, whatever works best for you. And the syringe that I used was just the black color because I figured if it was mixed, you really wouldn't be able to see it. Now the internal assembly is complete and it is time to turn on our device. I will say this tricks me sometimes because I think, oh, it's on, but you actually have to hit the on button. If not, it's just the temperature setting that is on. Now you are able to feed down your film. You will simply feed it down through the printer and then hit that middle center button and it will allow it to feed out. Cut off any of the excess that has maybe scratches or junk on it, and then you're ready to go. At this point, we are ready to upload the software and download all of the drivers. I am no tech professional, so I do give you 2 links down in the description where you can go to 1, watch the tutorial, and 2, find all of the drivers and software installation. Now, I'm going to give you a couple hints here. What you were just looking at was an adapter. My PC does not have more than 3 USB adapters. So I found that adapter at Walmart. It was under $10. It was a lifesaver, but you do have to have all 3 of those things plugged in when you are working with the printer. Additionally, I would like to let you know that you have to deactivate your firmware. At least I had to, and if you're not sure what a firmware is, because honestly, I wasn't, it's just your virus protector. I'm not exactly sure why. If you would like to do a little bit more research into that, please feel free. However, for me, it did not bother my computer, and everything's running smoothly at this point. I would also like to add that you do have to work with a computer, a PC, or a Mac with this software. You cannot use an iPad or a cell phone, at least at this time. And within just a few minutes, your assembly process is complete, both inside and out, and you are totally ready to print all of your prints. I hope this tutorial was very helpful, and I'm actually not done yet. I'm going to walk you through the entire process of what your first print will look like, but I also want to chit chat with you about why I chose this printer and some key tips you may have. Like I said in the beginning, this printer is a great option for beginners, both because of the size and the price point. So let's touch on the size at first. That film is 8.5 inches wide by pretty much any length. So it does limit you on huge projects, but it honestly covers most adult sizes, all youth sizes, any type of hats or smaller koozie decals. So it's pretty universal, especially if you are starting out. Secondly, it does give you free range to kind of dump your toes into the DTF world without investing into these humongous printers, both in size and in price. I got this in a bundle, and it was the printer, the oven, and all of the essentials such as film and ink, and I believe it was right around $2,000. It came great in packaging. It actually came in like this huge chest, so you didn't really have to worry about anything breaking or shifting around. As a creative coach, I am very eager to share more about this printer, the process, the setup, and everything with you to help you succeed in the print game. If you have any questions, please list them down below. That way I can tailor my tutorials to your specific needs. Additionally, make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss out on me. Like I said, I upload on a weekly basis. One week it's all about sublimation, one week it's all about DTF. But you never know, some random things could come up in between. I hope this tutorial has helped you, and I also hope you have the best week. We'll chat soon.